Comedian television host Bill Maher tells Lin-Manuel Miranda, "Hey Lin, stop apologizing."
Come on, yo. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. The Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Polly, let's go.
Polly here on the Latino Slant. If this is your first time checking us out, please consider subscribing, becoming a member. Membership perks include great one-on-ones with filmmakers and musicians, live concerts, exclusive access, and of course, discount to our merchandise store, which will be back up and running soon. So thank you guys for being here. Let's get right into the story. You talk about a story, a gift that keeps on giving. Good Lord. Recently on his show, Bill Maher was talking about Lin-Manuel Miranda. This is from TMZ. Bill Maher stand up to bullies Lin-Manuel. They enjoy seeing people crawl like dogs. Bill Maher had some advice for Lin-Manuel Miranda. Stop apologizing to bullies who take joy in making people crawl like a dog in shame for every move they make. Miranda is taking heat for his movie In the Heights, a movie about the Washington Heights area of New York. He got dragged because the case did not have Afro-Latinx representation. The fact is, the cast, not the case. The cast has Latinx performers, a black lead, but as Bill says, the committee is outraged. The skin tone of the cast is somehow off. And there is a, now his Lin-Manuel Miranda's apology on his Twitter page. But let's go on with this story. Miranda capitulated, saying, "I'm truly sorry. I'm learning from the feedback. I thank you for raising it, and I'm listening. I promise to do better in my future projects." Bill was incredulous. "You're the guy who made the founding fathers Black and Hispanic. I don't think you have to apologize to Twitter." Maher doesn't believe Miranda really believes in an apology as an order. "I think he just wants to avoid the news cycle, and I don't blame him," adding, "This is why people hate Democrats. It's cringy." Wow. Maher wasn't done. "People are going to have to stand up against these bullies because that's what it is. It's bullying. Yes, I can make you crawl like a dog and enjoy it." And then the real-time host went in for the kill. I mean, he's Latino. He's making a Latino movie with a Latino cast. Not good enough. Nothing is ever good enough for these people. They're like children. We don't raise our children right. It's reflected in the media. No one ever tells their children, shut the F up, sit down, listen to your elders, stop bitching. Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's really it from the article. We'll watch a little bit of the video. But you talk about something that made me jump up and pay attention. This is it. And, you know, I'm actually, I don't watch Bill Maher anymore. Hardly. But when he makes the news as something like this, as far as just speaking out, it's news to us because no one is speaking out against him. They're letting the mob rule. And when the mob rules, the more we don't speak up, then the less power, the less strength that we're going to have in the future. So this is fantastic. This is fantastic. Let's watch a little bit of this video. Here we go.
Rotten Tomatoes. People loved it. Great reviews, for which he has apologized profusely. Why? Well, there's Latinx performers, one black lead, but no Afro Latinx.
Mm-hmm.
The committee that makes note of everyone's skin tone discovered this, and then Lin-Manuel Miranda had to say, I'm truly sorry. I'm learning from the feedback. I thank you for raising it, and I'm listening.
Yeah.
I promise to do better in my future projects. This is what I was talking about with Nikki. Please stop the apologizing. You're the guy who made the founding fathers black and Hispanic. I don't think you have to.
I think you need good on Bill. Good on Bill. I think for people that now we know who Miranda is, a lot of people that weren't in his circles, weren't a fan, or just didn't know about and weren't into musicals, how much of a pioneer Miranda is. He's the first ever on a Broadway level to blend the genres of hip hop, Latin rhythms, Broadway standard score, and music and song all into one. I mean, it really is a feat. Then he takes his second one with Hamilton, and like Bill says, he makes the founding fathers black and Latino rapping. I mean, but it's not enough. It is not enough. It clearly hasn't been enough. I had said this earlier, and I've said this before in other live streams. If you have the ear of the creator and you have a problem with what that person is, producing or creating, wait for the opportune time, either maybe before or after the interview, and talk to them. Let them know your grievances. Then take your same energy and go and create. But by all means, if you see there's a problem, talk about it. The thing is that we really have lost that tact and that respect, and that's where Bill was talking about towards the end, as far as kind of just raising us right, and that we want instant gratification. We want to feel important. We want to feel heard right away, and it doesn't matter the forum or the situation. So I have to say this is a pleasant thing to cover, a pleasant news item to cover. Good on Bill Maher. Good on him to bring it up and to talk about how even within a culture, because what we're talking about, guys, is Latinos within the Latino community not being happy with a Latino project. That's really what it is. And whether their problems are valid or not, it's the crabs in the barrel, and Latinos are very, very good at that. So let's I will have another article from Deadline, and it kind of covers the ground, but there's a couple of different things in there as well. So let's share that. And again, if you're just checking out our channel for the first time, please consider subscribing. Oh yeah, and comment on the video. Comment. I will answer back. I promise. I'm really good at I think I have like a 99% rate. I want to say 100, but nothing's ever 100% of replying back. So here is the and let's go like a little. We can make me small. Heights controversy, stand up to these bullies. You got to stand on your own 2 feet. Emiliano Zapata always said, I'd rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. And it takes guts. It takes guts. As much as guts as these people think that they have, as far as trying to tear down Miranda's work, tear down Rita Moreno's legacy. It's even and then the crowd is with them. It takes more guts to stand up against that crowd and say, you know what, I think you guys are wrong, and I think you guys need to reconstruct your argument. And I'm being polite here, right? From Deadline, Maher had some advice for Lin-Manuel Miranda on his Friday show. Stop apologizing. about Miranda's criticisms to the film. They did not depict darkly colored Puerto Ricans on screen. I mean, you can't get more narrow niche than that, right? You're the guy who made the founding fathers black and Hispanic. You don't have to apologize to Twitter. Miranda, the film's wonder kid composer, lyricist, producer, co-scribe, and star, apologized on a social media post earlier this week for the lack of Afro-Latinx representation in the musical. The committee has made note of everyone's skin tone, took note of it, said Bill. Do you really think he needs to apologize? I think he just wants to avoid the news cycle. I don't blame him. That's a real thing as well. That's a real thing as well, especially with your movie coming out, and you just want your movie to do well. You want your movie to get out to every possible person. I say all this news and the continued news has brought people to go and see it that would never even have considered going to see it. In fact, when you're leaving your comments, let me know if now you are going to go see In the Heights. If you've seen In the Heights, what do you think of the film and all the hoopla surrounding it? I mean, he's a Latino making a Latino movie with a Latino cast. Not good enough. Nothing is ever good enough for these people. They're like children. We don't raise our children right. It is reflected in the media. No one ever tells their children to shut the F up, sit down, listen to your elders, stop bitching. I mean, that's old school. That's old school as far as raising our children, right? To telling our kids to sit down and shut up, listen to your elders. Listen is key. Listen is key. Maher finished. People are going to have to stand up to these bullies because that's what it is, bullying. It's, I can make your skin crawl like a dog and enjoy it. Now, Bill made a note in regards to Democrats. Full disclosure, I'm a Democrat. I've been a very reluctant Democrat in the last few years. But what I've always been is I've always been cordial, respectful, and seek people who don't agree with me and where they're coming from. How the hell are we going to live with each other if we don't do that? That is where we can kill the bullying. That is where we can really work and come together. We're all here at this time. And it's stuff like this that, yeah, I agree. It's cringy. And it comes from, this small yet vocal voice from the left that is, way too entitled. Just way too much. So, again, I'm happy that Bill Maher has brought this up in his show. And Lin-Manuel, I hope you take his advice. And I hope that the film does well. But in regards to bullying, man, that's how you do it. Because all it takes is one person to stand up against the bully mob. Then you're going to see other people stand up. Then you're going to see, those people who are standing up to the mob, holding hands together and saying, yo, this isn't right. And you get to push back. And there's nothing wrong with pushing back. You know me, I like it respectful, nonviolent. That would be choice, right? But I think the pushback and the talk back is really important right now because it goes back to what Bill is saying. Shut up, sit down, listen. And I'm not just saying that towards any particular group of any particular skin color. I'm saying that to everyone. I'm saying it to myself. There's no way I can listen to what someone is trying to tell me or talk to me, conveying, if I'm talking. How is that possible? Rocky said, it is a known fact. It is a known fact. You can't listen when you're talking. You can't learn when you're talking. It is a known fact. So, again, Bill Maher telling Lin-Manuel Miranda to stop the bullying and stand up to these guys. Stand up. You are a pioneer. You are amazing. Whatever your politics are, here's the work you've created to entertain the masses. The masses are entertained. Miranda is wildly, wildly talented. And then let's talk really briefly, just with this one film, how many people of all backgrounds, colors, shapes, and sizes, in front and behind the camera, has this project? How many of them has he hired? Hundreds upon hundreds. Talking with other filmmakers, friends of ours, that's the first thing that he said. This man has created amazing opportunity. And you look down that list. I'm sure if you look at the credits, and if you're in skin color committee, grab the credits. And if you want to do your skin color committee, credits, color. You know, Osvaldo Gomez, color, dark. Okay, good. He checks out. Skin color committee. If you want to do that, go for it. I think you'll lose. I think your argument will go right outside the window, because this massive undertaking has created work for people of all backgrounds, talented people. And I really appreciate Bill Maher weighing in on this, on Lin-Manuel. I'm definitely behind Lin-Manuel, and it's a good flick. Catch our review of the movie. We have a special section on In the Heights here on the Latino Slant. For more reviews and information, please check those out. And I thank you again for being with us. So let's get to the comment. Let's see who's here. We have not checked in, and I'm going to check in. Plus, I have 2 bonus stories for you guys. Crimson Mist, he's a member of the channel. Maher has become more critical of the far left quite recently. Yeah. Glogo, top of the morning. It's Courtney. Good morning. Soul Assassin. It's more easier to destroy than create. How are you, Soul? Ken Jack Ben, even if the movie is great, I think the original West Side Story is better, and I'd rather watch that. Well, we're going to see that. And, a couple things with that. West Side Story is a legend. It's a classic since the 50s, which I'm a huge fan of. Always have been. So it's almost unfair to compare them. It's like comparing a Western. It's like comparing High Noon to the remake of True Grit. That's basically what you're telling me, Ken Jack Ben. I might have to check out in there. Yeah, let me know what you think, bro. Let me know what you think, because at the end of the day, it's pretty entertaining, especially if you like musicals, or maybe see it with a family member. Okay, Elijah Snow. Hello, Elijah. Well, let me see. Where did I? Polly's on point with that. It comes down to a failure of education and training. We've abdicated that and given it over to the government because they're so good at doing things. There's a growing left faction that desires a dark outcome they don't fully understand the implications of. Okay? You got one mouth and 2 ears. Listen more than you talk. Amen. Dark Shadow Logan. I'm an independent. I don't believe in belonging to a certain party, especially when I don't agree with either a majority of things. I fall center on most things and lean conservative with others. Yeah, that's a great comment. I used to be a real diehard Democrat. I have definitely gone more center, and on some issues conservative. But 2 things with this Dark Shadow for me. whether it's being a Democrat or being a Catholic, or let's say, you know, for me, you know, with my 12-step program, any group that I'm a part of, I don't always 100% agree with their policies and procedures. And I think that's good. I don't think, you know, we can. But there's basic universal things that we can all agree on, like, you know, food, breathing, music. You know, it brings people together. I would definitely say I've become more of an independent, and you know, that is just my background as far as you know, that's just my background. So, but I really appreciate your comment. Stephanie Janishek's Smuggler's Cantina just stopping in. Hey, how was your birthday? Hope you had a good one. Elijah Snow, I think that the biggest difficulty I've run into is that when I ask questions of modern leftists, they just scream and go on the attack. Listening matters, but Lin-Manuel should defend himself. Yeah, I've had that experience too with some very dear friends who've gone really left, and the ability, the capacity to disagree and have good discord is gone. And then what happens is that you don't talk to your friends for months. It's really a sad thing. It's really a sad thing. Okay. People are right. Ken Jack Band, when it comes to certain movies, it's the exact opposite. I prefer Desperado over El Mariachi. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See? There you go. See, El Mariachi, you know, was just made for peanuts compared to Desperado. The guy had millions. Stephanie, I left the GOP because they started looking and acting like Democrats. I'm unaffiliated voter, means libertarian. I'm a devotee of the first 10 commandments to the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for that. I was kind of drunk. I think as you get older, you change over time with more knowledge. I think it's more that establishment politicians I have issue with. Glad to see. Keep your mind open. Yeah, you got to. You have to. That's the way to be. Cool, man. Well, I said we had a couple of more. Actually, have a quick announcement and another story that just popped on my screen right before filming or recording, so I wanted to share that with you. But the announcement is, before we get to this other story, in talking about this story with this occurrence, as far as, like, you know, the teardown and the, you know, as far as the criticism of Miranda and his movie with other Latino creators, filmmakers, it is amazing to see the discord within their own, you know, chats and Facebook and all that stuff, in people that are standing up, people that are green, people are having discord. So one of the gentlemen that kind of took a hard stance against this is the creator of this television show called Resurrection Boulevard. And I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this television show, because it's now about 20 years old, but Resurrection Boulevard was on Showtime for 3 seasons. 3 seasons, 53 episodes. And it's about a Latino boxing family. The creator is Dennis Leone. Dennis Leone is coming on to, and here's the announcement. Dennis Leone, creator, pioneer, great dude, is coming on to the Latino Slant this Wednesday, our next live show, to discuss not only his career, which we should celebrate and honor, but this issue, because he's taken a hard stance and he's got some incredible insight to this situation, because not only has he had to do, and let's get a picture. And so that's the this picture here, the guy in the middle, Nick Gonzalez, he works a lot still. You might recognize some of these other actors. Michael DiLorenzo, he was from the original 21 Jump Street. Elizabeth Pena, who's no longer with us. She was in La Bamba, Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Resurrection Boulevard. Dennis Leone. Let's go to this cast picture. I had it. Where is it? I had it. Tony Plana. Oh, there it is. Dennis Leone is the gentleman to the far right with the headset on on his shoulders, and that's the cast. This is like about 20 years ago. What's her name? Marissa Nichol. Let's get her name. She's worked a lot and been a lot of. Why don't they have her name in here? Well, listen, we're not here to find out every cast member's name, but there's Dennis Leone. He's going to be on our show this Wednesday. And what Dennis brings is his insight, his knowledge, his years of experience of actually working with Hollywood, of actual racism that he's had to deal with actual questions in regards to his own ethnicity from other Latinos. I mean, we can be like crabs in a barrel, like in a second. Well, who are you? So I'm really excited to have this gentleman on the show. That's our announcement. And I will be promoting it next couple of days by maybe getting snippets of the television show called Resurrection Boulevard. Boxing Family was on 3 seasons on Showtime. And it really was a precursor. It really launched a lot of careers, and you can thank this gentleman, Dennis Leone, for creating that. So he's going to come on the show, talk about cancel culture, talk about the situation within the Heights and his own career and experience. You said that interviewer on one side and Mexican Iron Man on the other. Interesting. You have to have that interviewer on one side and the Mexican Iron Man. Wow, that would be a knockout, drag out fight. Yeah, neat. Yeah. Dennis is quite opinionated. Elizabeth Pena was gorgeous. One of my favorites in the movie Batteries Not Included. Yeah. She was in Rush Hour. Yeah, that's her. That's the same. She passed a few years ago, unfortunately. And which maybe we can honor her in in a different video, but yeah, she's in this television show called Resurrection Boulevard, and we're gonna have the creator of Resurrection Boulevard, Dennis Leone, on next Wednesday night. So please make sure, guys, your notifications are on for our channel. And let me just check the chat, make sure I didn't really skip anyone. Pumpkins for everyone. Yeah, we'll show you pumpkins for everyone. You got it. All right, good. Want to welcome all the people in the chat joining us this early Saturday morning. We've already talked about the Bill Maher story, and if you want to, I'm going to clip it and put it as a separate item, as well as the next story, but really fast. Elijah, I didn't have Snowdub when that was on television, but I'm very interested in his opinion and perspective on modern industry. Yeah, let me find out where we can check that show out still. I mean, it'd be nice to know where that show can still be screened. It looks like it's available on Stars. No. Available on Amazon. It is available on Amazon. So there you go. Resurrection Boulevard. All right. I got one more important story, which I think is interesting and just a sign of the times. There's no way around it. the LA Times, the Los Angeles Times, has come out with this article, and they're just covering the news. What has happened is that, let's make it a little bigger. Good. Los Angeles Times, adios homophobia. Mexico soccer team is banning fans at its first 2 World Cup qualifiers after they used anti-gay chant in last spring's pre-Olympic tournament. Mexico to play 2 World Cup qualifiers without fans due to Mexican Soccer Federation again urges fans to stop using the chant after FIFA hands down toughest penalty to date. Ay, ay, ay. The origins of the chant have mostly been lost to history, but it's believed to date back to a Mexican club match in 2007. I can tell you, it's been used a lot longer, for decades actually. There's a debate whether the chant is derogatory, since the offending word can have many meanings in Spanish, one of which is a slur used to demean gay men. And I want to play this video. Okay, here we go. Where is
algún específico género de persona? Pero
you know what it is? It's because I have the dark mode on, so I can't really see all the there we go. Okay, let's check it out.
There's quite a big disagreement as to what the word means. It can be used in a wide variety of contexts, but if even one is homophobic, we should stop it.
yo al principio yo pensaba que no era un grito homofóbico, ¿verdad? Porque decían, oh, le gritaban al portero. Yo decía, pero no están generalizando hacia a un específico género de personas. Pero el día que yo tuve la conversación con una persona de la comunidad LGBT y me explicó a mí lo que es sentirse ellos cuando gritan esa palabra, cómo ellos se sienten ofendidos, fue cuando yo cambié mi punto de vista. Fue cuando dije, yo estaba ignorante y yo me eduqué.
I do feel like we need to kind of get with the times. I do think that we need to be inclusive of, thinking about, a toxic, masculinities that we see sometimes within our culture. And I think that we need to be open to having those conversations.
Okay, I want to stop. All right. So what this is trying to talk about, and I'll put the link to the full story, but the gist of it is that for decades, we'll say this, and it's not just Mexico. Let's say it's in a lot of Latin American countries, and then probably in English-speaking countries that have a rabid soccer base. And maybe Bud Boy can speak to this as well, as far as UK teams, or not UK, but UK fans or European fans, is the use of homophobic, maybe even sometimes racial, definitely demeaning language when they're chanting in regards to the other team. People get passionate, right? People get excited, especially when it's a bunch of people together and they're rooting for their team. So in this particular case, the word, we'll just spell it out. PUTO is a offensive word to put down and describe gay men. They'll use this in their chants in regards to the opposite team. So I guess FIFA now is taking a stance. They got penalized, and Mexico is now not allowing their fans for their soccer team to be in the stadium for at least the first two games. Obviously, for me, I don't like the language, and I've never liked that type of language. I don't know how you can control I guess this is one way to control the masses, is to not have them there. That's really strange. Really strange. Really strange. I like where this gentleman's coming from, because he never thought it in a million years that it was anything to demean gay men. But when he talked to some of his friends from that community, he was like, oh, okay, I was, the stuff that I do or chant hurts other people. Okay. So I'm not too excited about what this person here says in regards to toxic masculinity. But that's just me. I don't gotta agree with everyone just because they're a quote unquote expert. So let's move on here.
Within our organization.
Listen, I understood.
Let's see what this person has to say, because I guess there's
I do feel like
Pasión 1927, and I don't know what that organization is. Maybe we'll get a link up in the description, but to me, her language is pretty programmed language that's from academia, and when someone talks like that, I just tune out. Now, if we can get real and talk one-on-one, that's different. But this language is a little too programmed.
I do feel like we need to kind of get with the times. I do think that we need to be inclusive of, thinking about, toxic, masculinities that we see sometimes within our culture. And I think that we need to be open to having those conversations. And I don't think chant should be within our organization.
Listen, I understood.
Okay.
I used to do it a lot, and obviously never.
It sounds like it's a soccer team club organization that follows the Mexican soccer team, and there's debate. Okay, all right.
In every Mexico game, to me, I came to understand after having meetings with people like from Pride Republic, and it made me understand that it doesn't matter what it means to me. It matters what it means to them. And it goes both ways, because for me, it's not a homophobic chant. In Mexico, you use it for so many different things. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter, because to them it's offensive.
Interesting, right? Interesting. Let me go back to what he said. Let's repeat that. And it's very well spoken, very well, plain speech. This guy's speaking from the heart.
From Pride Republic, and
let's go back.
Came to understand after I used to do it a lot, and obviously in every Mexico game. To me, I came to understand after having meetings with people like from Pride Republic, and it made me understand that it doesn't matter what it means to me. It matters what it means to them. And it goes both ways, because for me, it's not a homophobic chant. In Mexico, you use it for so many different things. But at the
so that's fascinating, man. It's fascinating, because he's saying that in the culture, right? In the culture, that those expletives are used in so many in so many facets of daily living, that it's not even considered homophobic. It's just, it's just a way of speech, a way of talk. It's like, but then he says, but it doesn't matter how it makes me feel. It matters how it makes these other people feel. So yeah, this is quite a debate. And the news here, let's take this out if you're just joining us. is that FIFA has handed down its harshest penalty to date. Mexico's soccer team is banning fans at its first 2 World Cup qualifiers after they used an anti-gay chant in last spring's pre-Olympic tournament. How does it make you guys feel? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat right now. I will put these links to these stories in the description, and comment, guys. Comment on what you feel, in regards to this. So my quick, I think I've told you, where I'm coming from. Also too, so there's this is an interesting story because it's not just about a sports team, right? It's not just about a championship game or whatever. This is soccer. This is culture. These are countries that think and go about their way of life in a completely different manner. So this is very interesting. So let's hear what you guys have to say. Let's go back, because I know we have some Latino masculinity, the next target of convenience. Yeah, it's an easy what do you call it? It's targets, it's easy to shoot at. It's a big target. This is a bunch of cry bully BS, man. They need to stop. They need to do it more. Okay. He thinks he needs to do it more. Okay. Remus Figueroa, clapping the hand. I don't watch soccer, so I don't know what chant they like speak of. Well, we spelled it out, PUTO, in their chants. They didn't kick the UK fans out when they were throwing bananas on the field. Oh dear. Rice cake? How do you know they're not talking about the Filipino dessert food that goes by the same name? It was her framing that did it for me. The first 2 guys sound reasonable, but the lady in the end feels like a product of La Universidad. Yeah. I mean, listen, I agree. It's good to hear different people's opinions, but she definitely didn't connect with me. The other hombres did. Helen, good morning. Is it a bad word no matter what? True. It's a tough word to swallow. It comes with a lot of it comes with a history of some straight up old school homophobia and violence towards them, and that's not cool. However, banning your fans is not cool as well. So that is not the solution. Okay. Yeah, but it also causes masses to rebel. The PRI tried this in my childhood. As I recall, it worked out poorly. There is such a thing as being a bad fan. I speak from personal experience. Okay. Good morning, T-shirt historian. Another zombie. Dark Shadow Logan. She lost me with toxic comment, conversations, and feelings. You can't censor people or force them to change. People need to change on their own. Yeah, man, Dark has been giving some great comments on this morning special, and you're right. You're right. At the end of the day, it's like no matter how I perceive it might be wrong, right? I'm gonna get you're passing. You can't pass legislation to change people's minds. You can try all you want, and they do, but that shit don't work. Okay. So much for free speech. Is it free speech? you do pay to go to you're going to pay to it's a public event. You're paying a ticket. You're cheering. You're rooting your team on. Yeah. Well, I mean, some people will call it hate speech, but you take out that one word, and all of a sudden, that hate speech just becomes a fanatic speech against another soccer team, right? You just take out that one word. So I would think, it seems a little challenging, especially I don't necessarily know that the opponents of this behavior are soccer fans. They're more, just trying to, well, for lack of a better word, they're probably SJWs, and they're just trying to, reform everyone. Sadly, the society suffers from offense sensitivity. Ooh, nice. Everything is so delicate and safe. It is BS. Not all native Spanish speakers, but that word that starts with P, I had no idea that it wasn't anything other than that. You go to Guatemala, El Salvador, it totally means different things and not bad. Great. I love this conversation. Okay. Not a fan of coarse language, but feelings are lame excuses to stifle free speech. You're not wrong, man. I have to say that. I kind of agree with you. Michael Gonzalez. Welcome, Michael. I'm late, but this sounds like another example of American wokeness intruding on other cultures. Well, it's from FIFA. So this is an international soccer association. So I think it's ridiculous to be fans a year after the time the world was said. It's just a word. Just ignore it. IMO. I mean, there is that too, right? There is that too. How's my favorite gangster, MB Geeks? I am doing good, my friend. Remus, I never cared about the sport, but football is about the competitions. It is about the rivalry, and who wins the game, not about the feeling of random groups of people. That's just virtual signaling BS. Okay. Force a Light Entertainment. Good morning. How are you ladies doing? I hope well. Okay, you can't take away people's right to be offensive. If we don't have the right to be offensive, we don't have the right to speak truth, because the truth can sometimes offend. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Elijah, it's the criminalization of offense that becomes dangerous. Once that happens, what happens when I offend you or me, or you me? Then we can attack each other with the law. I don't like that. Yeah. Oh, man. En español, negro es una palabra malo. No podemos usar esa palabra porque en inglés negro es diferente. Negro es diferente. In my experience, un negro is just a black person in Spanish. Now, you can use it in a different context, and there is a much harsher word for that as well that's equivalent to the N-word in Spanish language. We all know that. But negro in itself is not a bad word. So yeah, language is just fascinating. Whether it's in English or in Spanish, French, German, the indigenous languages that we speak. What a lot of people don't know is that a huge percentage of the Mexican population still speaks indigenous languages. Huge. In fact, I know a lot of people don't know this because they'll sometimes think that the Aztec language is dead, or Zapotec, or whatever these different languages. It's like, no, they're thriving. Nahuatl is still spoken. I mean, I even throw in some Nahuatl words in my Spanish. So what we're talking about is the fervor and Forces of Light just got here. We got to do a show together. That this FIFA has just handed down a penalty to the Mexican soccer team in the World Cup qualifiers. Their fans cannot attend the next 2 games. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, of course, that language sucks. No one wants to, I don't want to hear, someone using, you're basically using the worst name you can for a gay man. And the word is PUTO. Okay, PUTO, which is a kind of equivalent to the F word in when we call, as far as calling gay men. They use that in their chants. They being the fervent soccer fans. So you got this cultural discussion of language. Is it appropriate? Free speech. And then you have this presiding committee, another committee, handing down a decision and not allowing fans to attend a soccer game. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me know in the chat right now. What is your solution? How would you what kind of solution would you have to this? Okay, now here it is, right? Do you let fans say and scream whatever they want in a public area where there's, other women and children and people? Probably, let's be real. There's a lot of straight and gay in the alphabet community that are fans of soccer. Do you let them throw this language out? We're not saying it's appropriate, but how do you resolve that problem? Because people, there's always gonna be that group of people that just don't want to hear it. So you're at a soccer game. What do? Let me know right now in the chat. Trash talking is part of sports. People would be amazed what sport legends say to each other to throw their opponents off the game, to make mistakes. You are so right. 2 notorious trash talkers, Kobe, MJ. You are absolutely right. Soul Assassin, banning the fans over the chant is going to encourage them to use it more. And we started this whole stream with my news of Bill Maher, and I'm going to clip that, and that'll be a separate clip. You have to stand up, right? You got to stand up and say, come on, this is just ridiculous. Now, I will say that, and as you guys are giving me your opinions, homophobia is a different animal in Latin America. So you're dealing with homophobia in Latin America, and then the continued usage of this word, not only and it's like, there's several words that are derogatory towards the LGBT that are used in Spanish to this day, but they're not used towards them. They're used in everyday life. Like, let's say, this is just a silly example, but your tire's flat and you're trying to work the lug nuts and get them out, and you can't, they're too tough, and someone will say, they'll scream and complain at the lug nut or the flat tire, calling it a derogatory name. That is a real thing. That's just someone like, when we curse at something, like, let's say we stub our toes or whatever, we're gonna, different people have different ways of just cursing, getting it out. All right, look at all these awesome comments. Let's try to get through them. MB Geeks, thank you guys for being here. I'm Blanco. My wife is Blanca, means white. One is male, one is form is female. Form trying messing with the Latin pronoun SJWs. Okay. Yes, we will. We'll set it up. My solution, screw it then. Let's write like the Europeans do. Awesome. Yeah, those European fans are nuts. Let them say whatever they want. Ken Jack Ben. We have to let them defend their rights to the death. Liberals use to know that. MB Geeks, it depends on the place and location. Been to many hard rock concerts, had some bad hombres. Most of the time, they are the outliers, not the rule. Yeah, and that's true. That's true too. I wonder if this will pass on to other sports leagues. Can be detrimental to the sports itself eventually. Well, yeah, you know. T-shirt historian Polly, you still hear people throwing the N-word around at sports events now. Obviously, if a whole section of fans started chanting something with the N-word, they'd get banned. Same difference. Elijah, excellent question. I think that the best way is the way it's usually done. Tell the audience your expectation, bounce them as they break the rules, not punish everyone because breeds resentment. Yeah. You're banning your fans, all your fans. That is not the solution. That is a great take, T-shirt. How can you ban all your fans, man? Who the hell wants to try to win a game without their fans? Sports sucked last year. I was because I'm a Dodger boy. I have been since I was a little kid. Man, you know, they hadn't won the World Series since 1988. They finally won last year. I was pissed because we couldn't be there to celebrate. It sucks. Now we're at full capacity, and now the stadium's rocking. We hope they can repeat, but that's the point, is that it's a live sports event. You have to have your fans there. Dark Shadow. Let people do as they will, as long as they are not attacking anyone. Censoring speech over people's feelings does not fix anything. Someone can call me an a-hole. That is their opinion and right. Yep. Reality, there is no solution that works. I don't know. I like T-shirted. I like that, you know, it's pretty easy to find these people out, you know, when you give them the warning, don't use it again. They do it again at the game, you bounce them, you know, and if they continue and then they're, you know, either season ticket holders or, you know, you're starting to get to know them, then you do a season ban. You just, you know, each offense, then it just, you know, right. There is a huge linguistics argument here. Correct. Question: how does FIFA know you're a supporter of Mexico and ban you? Good question. Good question. How? Yeah. I did not dig into the article. We just read the headline on this one and saw the video. So let us dig into the article more and comment on that. That's a great question. And Aaron Cabrera, gracias for subscribing, man. Thank you. Thanks for being here. We have a lot of great content on here. Where are these games being held in Mexico? Why don't they, you know, Aston, you know, let's stop guessing and let's go to the article. Let me see if I can open it up, because usually my LA Times, yeah, I can open it. Great. Let's share it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. And Mexico soccer sanctioned. They're sanctioned, man. Sanctioned. Yikes. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mexico to play 2 World Cup qualifiers without fans due to use of homophobic chant. And this is out today or yesterday. What's the date? What's the date today? 19th. Okay. Mexico's national team will play its first 2 home matches in World Cup qualifying without spectators. A penalty for its fans' use of anti-gay chants during last spring's pre-Olympic tournament in Guadalajara. Okay, so it's the 2 home matches in Mexico. The games Mexico will play behind closed doors are against Jamaica on September 2nd and Canada. Oh, man, we can't talk shit about Canadians? October 7th, the Federation was also fined $73,000 for following an investigation by FIFA, the world governing body for soccer. What for some seem to be fun, I have news for you. It isn't. Jan de Luisa, the president of the Mexican Federation, said that at a news conference, because of it, we're kept out of the stadium and kept away from our national team. Please stop now. The actions are the strongest ever against Mexico for the chant. More sanctions could be coming. FIFA has said to still be looking into the use of the chant during 4 recent games in the U.S., 3 of which were halted by officials because of fan behavior. Wow. So, yeah, I guess this, and I have to admit, I don't watch soccer. I'll watch the World Cup and I'll, root for USA, root for Mexico, but I don't watch every game. But I've seen this, I've seen the fervor, man. Mexico's loss to the U.S. in the Nations League final in Denver was also marred by a pitch invader and by fans who threw debris on the field, including a heavy object that struck American player Gio Reyna in the face, sending him to the locker room. Denver police said several fans were ejected and 5 were arrested. Well, there you go. Mexico's next 2 games are friendlies. June 30th against Panama in Nashville. July at the Coliseum, followed by the Gold Cup CONCACAF. Ay. Well, maybe that answers some of your questions. Yeah, so we covered that video. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. And thanks for being here, guys. We're going to be wrapping it up in a little while. Practically speaking, how are they going to ban their fans? Excuse me. Do you identify as a Mexican? Well, it looks like this is everything. Oh, this is forced. Funny how you say X sounds like an H in Spanish. The H is sounding crazy, bud. Mexico's lost to USC in the National League finals of Maher. Oh, yeah. We got that. I just read that. There's a root of your problem. Yeah. In other words, they're trying to kill with a borrowed sword. Ken Jackpan, we know people who behave as if they are gay but not are homosexual, so gay is not synonymous with homosexuality. Interesting. Well, guys, that is the news this morning. And as I said earlier, Bill Maher is telling Lin-Manuel to stand up against cancel culture, against bullying. And we have a very special guest this Wednesday. And Mexico is penalized. Their fans are penalized. Entire fan base cannot go to their home games. There you go. For the behavior, probably it sounds like more than just a few. So maybe it's gotten so bad that they just don't know what to do. But that is it on the Slant. You guys have a fantastic weekend. We have a membership stream later today. And I will see you this week. Be good, y'all. Great show. Great stream. I thank you for being here. Paz y dale gas.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Power, let's go.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Slant. The Slant.
All right, Power.